The NBC Chicago investigative team is following a developing story from Washington. That's where President Trump just signed an executive order that will dramatically change the Department of Education by eliminating jobs, departments, and offices, including some right here in Chicago. Our investigative reporter Chuck Goudie is joining us now with what's happening in D.C. and in Chicago. Chuck?
Natalie, President Trump may have promised to get rid of the Department of Education, but he can't do that on his own. Only Congress can eliminate a cabinet-level department. But what the president can do and is doing is eliminate big chunks of the education department, large numbers of jobs, funding, and services. The Department of Education in Washington is the smallest of all cabinet agencies. This afternoon, it's being made even smaller. He says aimed at turning back control of public schools and universities to the states. The department's been around in some form or fashion for almost 160 years. In his first 60 days of this term, President Trump is dismantling much of it. A little while ago in Washington, the president signing an executive order that does not close the Department of Education, but will drastically change it.
We're going to be returning education very simply back to the states where it belongs, and this is a very popular thing to do, but much more importantly, it's a common sense thing to do, and it's going to work. Absolutely, it's going to work, and I can tell you from dealing with the governors and others in the state, they want it so badly. They want to take their children back and really teach their children individually. Probably the cost will be half, and the education will be maybe many, many times better.
In Chicago this afternoon, the Education Department's Civil Rights Office on its last legs. Employees will be eliminated and the office closed at the end of the day tomorrow. This afternoon, NBC5 investigates finding dumpsters and shredding bins in place for the last day. What the elimination of the Civil Rights Office here will mean coming up on our news at 6. And here is what the U.S. Department of Education has been responsible for handling, providing billions of dollars in aid and funding to schools and colleges. The department controlling all student loan programs in the U.S., currently managing $1.5 trillion in student loan balance in America and enforcing non-discrimination laws in schools and public universities. What happens to some of all of those programs, of course, whether or not they could be transferred elsewhere, we don't know. All of this is a work in progress.
Well, we know you'll be following it no matter what happens as that dismantling continues.
And Congress is now making a move toward getting rid of the entire thing. Right. We'll see how that goes.
And they need to be part of that.
They have to be all of it.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.